Hi everyone, welcome to another tutorial on my channel. In today's video, we are going to build this registration page. We have this sign up interface here. So here you can enter your details, enter your password, then you can submit. So if you already have an account, then you wouldn't have to sign in again. You only have to log in. So you have this text here, already have an account, then you log in. So if you have an account, you log in. And here we have the login interface here. So you can enter your details, your email and your password and submit as well. So you can switch between the login side and the sign up. So you can see this sliding in and out. So this works very perfect. And we are going to build this using HTML, CSS and JavaScript in a few minutes. And we are starting right now. Hey people, before we start this video, please take a moment to smash the like button for this video and subscribe to my channel for more tutorials like this. Let's go. In my code editor, and I'm using Visual Studio Code for this video, I have one index.html, style.css, and script.js file. I also have an images folder containing some icons that I'll be using in this video. So I'll head to the index.html file and create the basic HTML boilerplate. So type exclamation and hit tab, and this generates the HTML boilerplate. You can change the title to whatever you want to call it. I'll call it form. And after the title, we want to link the HTML to the CSS. So type link and set the href to the style.css we just created, or whatever you name the file. And also here in the body tag, we want to create a script tag. So before the closing body tag, create a script tag and set the src to the JavaScript file. So type src script.js. Now over here in the body tag, we want to create a div and give it a class container. So create a div, the class container. Now let's style this container div in the CSS. I've created this basic styling for the entire document to make styling in the CSS way easier. So now let's style the container div itself. So select it with the dot notation. And we give it a width of 100%. Height 100 v. We give it some linear gradient background. And we give it this RGB color. And with the comma, we paste the same color code again. And we give it a padding, 15 pixels up and down, 30 pixels left and right. Set the display flex. Align items to the center. And justify contents should also be center. Now run this code with the VS Code Live Server extension. You see we have a fresh web page with a background color like this. So now we can continue with the HTML. In the container div, let's create another div with the class form wrapper. Now let's style this form wrapper div in the CSS. So let's select the form wrapper. We'll give it a width of 334 pixels, height of 413 pixels, padding, 10 pixels, 40 pixels. I'll give it a border, 3 pixels double white, border top left radius, 50%, border bottom right radius, also 50%. I will give it a relative position, display flex, line item center, justify content, also center. So now let's run this and see what we have. Now we have this, so let's fill it with the form elements. Now over here, let's create a form with an ID, sign up form. Now we can remove the action. Now in the form, let's create an H3 header with the text sign up. And after that, we'll create an input. And we can remove the name and ID. But we'll keep the type as text. Give it a placeholder. Enter first name. Let's copy this and paste. Let's change the first name to last name. So we can paste it again and change the type to email and change the placeholder to enter email. And after the email, let's paste it again. And now we can remove the placeholder and change the type to date. Now after the date, let's create a div. And in the div, we'll create an a tag and set the href to a hashtag because it's not going anywhere. And give it a text, already have account. Now after the a tag, let's create a span and give it a class login btn. And set the text to login. After this div, we'll create a button with the type submit. We'll give it a class submit btn. And the button text is submit. Now let's start this in the CSS. Now let's select the H3. I will increase the font size to 2.5 rem. I will increase the font size, change the color to white, give it a font width of 600, font family Ubuntu Mono Sans Serif, text align to center, margin bottom 15 pixels, and text decoration underline. And if we save this is what we have. So now let's start the input. Now we select the input. We'll set the display to block. We give it a margin top and bottom 7 pixels, and left and right auto. That makes it stay at the exact center from left to right. Give it a width 250 pixels. Increase the height to 35 pixels. Background color that's transparent. Color of white. Increase the font size to 1.3 rem. And font family Ubuntu Mono. I'll give it a padding 5 pixels. Now we give it a border at the bottom 1 pixel, solid white. Border bottom left radius 5 pixels. Let's copy and paste and change the left to right. Now when we save this, so we have this and it's looking quite better than it was previously. But since we don't have one of the input element for the password, so let's add that in the HTML. So now let's copy one of the inputs, and after the email, let's paste it there. And we change the type to password, placeholder to enter password. Now you can see we have the password over here. So now let's start the placeholder. Now let's select the placeholder, double column placeholder. We'll set the color to white. Now let's start the div containing the A tag. Do the margin button 30 pixels, margin top 20 pixels. And now let's start the actual A tag. Set the color to white, margin 10 pixels. This is now looking okay. So now let's start the login button and also the submit button. Now let's select the sign up BTN. Set display to inline block. Set the background color to this RGB color code. The color to white. Now let's start the submit button. So we select it. Set the width to 100 pixels. Color. Give it this RGB color code. Now let's change this one. It's login instead of sign up. Now when we save this, you can see we have this and everything is looking very fine. Now we are done with the sign up page. So what we have to do is to create the login page. And for that, we'll copy the form we created for the sign up and make some changes. So, and after this one, let's paste it. Now let's change the ID from sign up form to login form. And also we'll change the text of the H3 to login. Let's also remove the first name and last name input fields. Let's also take off the date. Now we have this text in the A tag here. Already have account, so change the already to don't. Don't have account. And if you don't have account, you have to sign up. So let's change the text here to sign up. And change the class to sign up BTN. And for the button, we don't have to change anything. So that's pretty much all the changes we have to make. So let's run this and see what we have. Now you can see we have two forms here, one for the sign up and one for the login. So what we want to do is to make the sign up button over here inherit the stylings we give to the login button. So let's change that into CSS. Over here you can see this is the styling we give to the login BTN. So let's add the sign up BTN too. So with the comma, sign up BTN. And now you can see the styling for this matches this one. Now if you look at the finished version of what we're building, you'll see that after the submit button in the login form, we have this text over here, login with, and some social media icons here. So we'll add that in the HTML. So over here, after the submit button, let's create a paragraph and the text login with. And after this p tag, let's create a div with the class social. In this div, we'll create an a tag, set the href to hashtag. It's not going anywhere. And inside this a tag, let's make an img tag and set the src to the file path of one of the icons in the images folder. Now you can remove the alt text. Now we can copy this and paste two more times for Instagram and Twitter. So we'll change the image file path for each of them. Now let's select the paragraph text in the login form. We increase the font size to 1.2 rem, font width 500, change the color to white, give it a font family of Ubuntu Mono, and a margin top 20 pixels. So now let's style the socials, the icon. So select the socials, and inside the login form, you have the socials class. We give it a width of 200 pixels, border button 1 pixel solid, the color is white. So now let's resize the images, that's the icons in the social div, img, give it a width of 40 pixels. So now let's position the forms, the two forms, correctly the way we want it to. So with this, we'll select the individual forms with their IDs. So let's select the sign up form. Sorry, an ID. We'll give it an absolute position. Now you can see the login form is lying on top of the sign up form. So let's transform the login form to go up. So now let's select the login form. You can copy this one and paste and change the sign up to login. We'll set the transform property. Translate Y, negative 400 pixels. Now you can see the login form is pushed up. Now what we want to do from here is that whenever we click on this login button, the login form here will transform to fill the center here, and this one, the sign up form, will transform out of the box over here. So for that, we'll be using some JavaScript. So let's head to the JavaScript file. In the JavaScript, the first thing we want to do is to get some HTML elements. We want to select the form wrapper div. We also want to select the two forms, the login form and the sign up form, and also the login button and the sign up button. So let's select that in the JavaScript. So we'll start with the form wrapper. So we selected the form wrapper with the query selector. So now let's copy this and paste two more times so that we can make some changes for the sign up button and also the login button. And we'll do same for the login btn. Now let's select the forms with their IDs. Select the sign up form. And the ID is sign up form. Now we can copy this and paste for the login form. We want to set event listener on this button so that whenever we click on them, the login and the sign up button, so that whenever we click on them, a function is called and something happens. So let's define that. So let's select the login btn dot add event listener. It's a click event. And when we click, we want to call a function. So let's define an error function. And when we click on the login button, what we want to happen is we want the login form to slide in here and the sign up form to slide out. We'll take the sign up form, the style, the transform should be equal to translate x, negative 300 pixels. And we also want the login form to transform to 0. Translate y should be 0. And at this point, we want the background of the form wrapper to change. Should be equal to this RGB color. And we also want the border color should also change. And this should be yellow. Let's run this and see if it works. Now when I click on the login, you see the changes. So now let's implement that for the sign up. And that for the sign up button, we can just copy the login and paste again, make some changes. So let's change the login BTN to sign up BTN. Let's change the translate X 300 pixels to 0. And let's change the translate Y to negative 400. And now we change the background color here from this RGB color code to transparent. And also change the border color from yellow to white. And when we save this, so that now when we click the login, this happens. And when we click the sign up, everything goes back again. So this is working the way we want it to. But we don't want the changes to happen immediately after we click the button. We want it to take some small delay. So for that, we set transition on some of the items to make that happen. So let's head to the CSS. And here in the form wrapper, let's set a transition. Since we haven't stated anything, it defaults to all. It should take a second to ease in and out. Let's copy the transition property and paste inside the forms. So over here in the sign up form, you can paste and change the 1 second to 0.5. So we'll do same for the second form too. And we save. You can see when I click on it now, it takes some delay. It takes some time to implement. So this is exactly what we're looking for. But we don't want the form to appear whenever it's out of this form wrapper div. So let's set an overflow property on the form wrapper div. So here after this, set overflow to hidden. Now you can see anything that goes outside of the box do not get displayed. You don't see it again. So this is working exactly the way we want it to. So yeah, people, this is basically how we've come to the conclusion of this video. How we build this login and sign up from that slice in and out. If you find any value in this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more tutorials like this. But hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.